Peace be with you. If you decided to convert to Islam, especially out here in the West, and now your parents are very angry with you, they're constantly trying to get you to change your decision, they're constantly disrespecting your decision, this video is for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what the Quran says, what your response has to be. And even if you have been a Muslim your whole life, it's good to be reminded of how we are supposed to treat our parents, because this is one of the most important parts of the faith. In the 31st chapter of the Quran, verses 14 and 15, we're told exactly what to do under these conditions. We're told, and we have commanded man in respect of his parents. We have commanded, insan is the Arabic word here. So we have commanded human being in respect of his parents. His mother bears him with weakness upon weakness, and his weaning takes 2 years, saying, be grateful to me and both of your parents. To me is the eventual return. And then it tells us exactly what to do. And if they argue with you that you should associate with me that of which you do not have any knowledge. So even if they argue with you to do the worst sin possible, the shirk is the worst possible sin in the Quran. So if your parents, even if they're trying to get you to do that, then God tells us what to do. God says, do not obey them, but continue to keep company with them in this world with kindness, and follow the way of him who turns to me, that to me is your return, and then I will inform you of what you did. So God says, even if our parents try to get us to do the worst sin, if they are on our case like that, God says, look, keep company with them in this world with kindness. So you can't even leave them, and you have to be kind towards them. Just because when we get old, it doesn't mean that we learn something. Okay, just getting old, being a parent, it doesn't mean you learned anything in life. We can still be deluded, and you have to understand, if you even have the option to convert to Islam, your parents don't have that kind of control over you, so that is a fact. Now, they are freaking out because they think you have made a wrong decision. And if you start acting in a way other than what Quran commands, what God commands in the Quran, then you will prove them right. But if you show them kindness, if you stay around them, and even through all of their efforts, you stay kind and patient with them, then they will see that you grew through Islam into a person that they always hoped you would be. So you have to do what the Quran says. And the second verse I'm going to quote is from the 17th chapter, verses 23 and 24. And it says, and your Lord has commanded that you shall serve none but him, and goodness to your parents. If one or both of your parents reach old age with you, do not say to them as much as uff, nor chide them, nor berate them, nor raise your voice at them, but address them with respect. And be humble towards them, and say, my Lord, please have mercy on them, for they raised me when I was a child. So this is what the Quran says about how we have to treat our parents. How they treat us, and I know there are some very bad parents out there and all that, but how they treat us is irrelevant, right? God's laws and God's commandments do not change in regards to how people treat us. Now, if somebody is physically assaulting you, you have to leave. You have to protect yourself. But if all they're doing is talking to you, if they're unhappy with you, if they're just angry with you, then you have to let them see what Islam truly is. And Islam is only us doing what the Quran says, what God tells us in the Quran. So you have to be around your parents with kindness, even under those circumstances. And God willing, inshallah, they will eventually see that the reality of what Islam truly is. They will see what you see one day, God willing, if you demonstrate that to them. Your parents love you, if you are coming from a reasonably loving home, even though you may not think that they love you because of how they are reacting to you. They're only reacting to you because they are afraid that you are making a terrible decision. So that's why they're like that. They're not like that because they hate you. They're like that because they're misinformed, and they're like that because they're worried. And you show them through obeying God, following the Quran, of what this faith has molded you into, by being kind to them and being around them so they can experience your growth. Peace be with you.